Hi, my name's Jeff. I'm the owner of Socialized Video, and we used Woofy for a bit, and I would give it a 2 out of 5 rating. So before Woofy, we were posting to social media channels manually, one at a time. We tried out a couple different softwares. Akoya was one of them. We did some free versions of Hootsuite, and then Hello Woofy came across as an ad for me, and I was really intrigued by the ability of being able to use social media all in one place, and that's what drew us to them. So I like the ability that Woofy offered where we could do different accounts. We could keep our client accounts separate. We could have different team members log in. It seemed like we had the ability to do really easy posts across many different social media channels. And that all is what drew me to Woofy, that I thought this is going to be a great product and really help us go a lot faster, more efficient. So getting started with Woofy was fairly simple. The online process of getting accounts set up seemed to work pretty well. The way they had accounts and things separated was a little bit of a challenge. So when I had different team members logging in, sometimes they weren't getting access to the things that I was expecting them that they'd get access to. That was a little bit of a challenge that we were able to overcome to figure out their organization. It wasn't as intuitive as we were hoping. And then when we started doing posts, that's where we really started having some issues. Is first off, being a video production company, we couldn't post videos, and that was a big downside. It was also very unclear whether that was somewhat allowed, but not in certain circumstances. There really wasn't a lot of good documentation, not a lot of good support when it came to that. And that's where I started reaching out to support to say, hey, maybe we're not understanding. How do we do this? How do we make this work? What about this aspect? And that's where I really had a sour experience. So if I was to explain Woofy to other people, the reason why I would say stay away from the software is just because my interactions with the owner and CEO were very negative. Basically, all the blame was put on us for not understanding their software, for not seeing how great it was, for being negative about the challenges that we're having with it. And basically, the way that they had it set up for the guarantee was very minimal. In other words, you had a very limited time to test it, and before we could get back information from support, our trial had finished and we were having to pay. And that's not a huge deal. That happens sometimes with software, I understand. But the biggest thing for me was just the way that the CEO came across, or the owner of the company, in his comments and remarks were very negative, very derogatory. When I see people that aren't positive and kind and helpful, especially when you're trying to understand their tool, that's a big red flag. And that's why I would say stay away, just because even if they have new staff that come in and try to do some good things to help clean those kinds of things up, I think that the head of the company is taking it such a way that you're going to run into customer service issues. That's the biggest issue that I see. In the end, I have talked to them and I've worked with other people that have apologized and we've worked things out. But that's my experience with Woofy, and that's the things I would explain for you before you choose to use it or not.